Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Alexander, founder of Kyoto Motorsport and Kyoto Racing School. Today I'm breaking down my AMS2 setup. I am including my Moza Pit House settings and in-game force feedback. Now, this setup works across GT cars, hypercars, and classic race cars. But before we jump into the setup, I want to thank our sponsor, everythingaboutRVing.com. They are your go-to resource for everything RV related, from travel guides, gear reviews, and even tips for the first-time RV buyer. Now, I personally use their site to stay up to date and make sure that every trip I take is smooth and enjoyable. You can find the link in the description, so check them out. All right, guys, so for AMS2, I am running the Moza KS Wheel on my R12 Wheelbase from Moza, paired with the Thrustmaster T-LCM Loadcell pedals. Now, AMS2 recognizes this as the Thrustmaster T300 RS, which is just a walk around, right? If you're okay with that, then we can go ahead and begin. All right, so first things first, go ahead and open up the Moza Pit House software. You're going to click the tab that shows the wheelbase on the left-hand side panel. This is the second button from the top on that panel. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, towards the top, you'll see the word preset. Underneath that, there's going to be a drop-down menu. Go ahead and click that. You want to scroll down and find select R12-GT. Now, there is no copy or paste. Just select it and start building your profile. All right, so we're going to start adjusting the basic settings here. So maximum steering angle is at 900 degrees. Soft limit stiffness is 5. Soft limit strength is going to be about in the middle. Soft limit game force strength, set that to on. Game force feedback intensity at 100%. Maximum output torque limit at 100%. Force feedback reversal off. Hands off protection, leave it on. And steering wheel inertia, leave it at default. We'll go back to that. Maximum wheel speed, 100%. All right, so I said I would go back to the steering wheel inertia. So even though I have my steering wheel inertia at default, it's important to understand what it does. Now, inertia simulates the wheel or the weight of the wheel rim. Higher inertia makes the wheel feel heavier and more resistant to faster changes. It's kind of like a real heavy steering wheel in a real car. Now, lower inertia makes the wheel lighter, makes it faster to respond, but it can feel a bit twitchy if it's too low. So keeping it at default for me gives it a balance, responsiveness, steering without feeling too light or unstable. Now, this, for me, again, works across GT cars, hypercars, and classic race cars. Now, moving on to the advanced tab setting, left side of the screen, force feedback interpolation at 0, natural dampening at 0, natural friction is at 2%, and natural inertia is at 100%. On the right side of the screen, you have your wheel spring strength. I have mine set to 0. Direct input effects tuning, 0. Just 0 it out. Speed-dependent dampening is at 0. Start point of speed-dependent dampening is also at 0. Now, on a note, speed-dependent dampening, this multiplies the natural dampening based on speed. If natural dampening is at 0%, this does absolutely nothing. To use this, first set the natural dampening anywhere from 1% to 100%, then adjust the start point of speed-dependent dampening, anywhere from 0 to 400 kilometers. Experiment with this if you want, until you basically get it feeling just right. Now, at the bottom of the page, you got temperature control strategy. Your options are conservative or radical. Now, conservative max surface temps are going to be just about 50 degrees Celsius, and the output will be limited to protect your wheel. Radical max surface temp is going to be at just shy of 60 degrees Celsius. Now, you do have sharper and stronger force feedback. Now, I run Radical just to get the most aggressive and detailed feedback, but just remember, after long sessions, don't touch the metal surfaces on the wheelbase. I've learned my lesson there. I've touched it, and I've burnt my fingers. So just keep that in mind. Now, force feedback equalizer at 100%. Base force feedback curve is diagonal from left to right. Bottom to top from 0 to 100. This ensures that linear feedback and full track detail come directly through the wheel. Now, your in-game AMS2 settings. We're going to start off by steering. We're going to go pedals, and then we'll talk force feedback. So, steering, dead zone, 0. Sensitivity, 50. Speed sensitivity, 0. On your pedals. Again, I run Thrustmaster, so it's going to be, might be a little bit different from Moza. But throttle dead zone at 0, throttle sensitivity at 50, brake dead zone between 0 and 3, brake sensitivity 35 to 40, clutch dead zone 0, clutch sensitivity 50. If you're only running 2 pedals, you don't have to worry about the clutch because you're going to use your wheel anyway for those clutch pedals. But it's definitely nice to have. Now, on the force feedback gain, I have mine set to 50. I did have it previously set to 70. It felt a little bit too strong, so I dialed it back. Low force boost between 5 and 8. FX is going to be 20 to 30%. Dampening from 0 to 5%. And then obviously menu spring strength, leave that at 0. And guys, these are my base numbers. Adjust slightly depending on your car class, your wheel, and personal preference. With the KS wheel and this setup, the steering is sharp, braking is precise, and every detail from the track comes through. Radical temperature controls ensures that nothing is muted, even on longer sessions. I want to thank you again, and thanks everything about RVing.com. Their link is in the description. And if you want to become a sponsor of Kyoto Motorsport or support me directly as I transition to North American Porsche Cup Series, I'm looking for private investors and sponsors to join my journey. Just head on over to KyotoMotorsport.com, where a brand new media deck has been made available for you. Thanks again for watching. Stay focused, stay hungry, and whatever you do, never be afraid to go against the apex.